What happens when logic meets legend? When seduction collides with the unexplained? And when even the world's greatest detective is forced to question everything he ever knew? Welcome back to Faraway Sister Haven podcast, the place where stories get dissected, twisted, and sometimes completely turned on their head. Today, we're stepping deep into the shadows of the unknown with the mind behind Sherlock Holmes, the Cryptid Files, the Case of Bigfoot, and the one and only N.S. Thorngrave. This author, who dared ask, "What if Sherlock Holmes, the ultimate symbol for reason, came face to face with something that shouldn't exist?" Cryptoids, conspiracies, and unsettling ideas that maybe not even is meant to be explained. In this episode, we'll dive into the inspiration behind blending classic detective fiction with cryptoid lore, the challenge of writing a hyper-rational character in an irrational world, and why sometimes the truth is more dangerous than the mystery itself. So dim the lights, keep your eyes on the timeline, and get ready, because this isn't just a story. It's a case that was never meant to be solved. There you go.
God, I ain't find a good spot for this.
Hey, I ain't got no neck. It's okay.
Thank you so much for the wonderful review. I
Uh,
do appreciate it so much.
that's the point. We need you guys to have reviews. That way, people see your book. The more reviews you get, the higher they are, the better you get seen. The algorithm is messed up.
It is. Especially on Goodreads, like thing, right? Because Goodreads will give you I don't know do, but I have I have like kind of a, with reviews. Um, I'm okay with reviews. I haven't gotten many of them, but I'm okay with this. Somebody just rating it and not like typing out.
I agree. Yeah, because
You
it don't
know,
help you as
if
an
it's
author.
anything less, right, right. To me, I see it more like okay, cool. What didn't you like about it, so I can kind of take that to
Right.
the next story.
And
Which, by
nine
the way, the
times
next
out of
story
10.
drops in June.
I'm telling you, they're trying to tease me. All of the authors in here are trying to tease me and get me sucked in. Now I'm stuck, and I have 50,000 books, and I still want to read them all. And all of my authors are gonna have me in a twister.
Listen, my TBR is. Oh, I trust me. I get it. I absolutely get it. Night. Um, so I read in bed, and whatever amount of time my energy will allow for
Ooh,
is
sorry.
usually.
I,
Sometimes it's a couple of chapters. Sometimes it's a page and a half.
well, now that I'm at home all the time, that's kind of all I do. So I have plenty of time to read. Not saying that I don't have emails out wazoo reading.
Well, I do appreciate
Any,
me on. I really, really
anytime.
do.
We're
Well,
excited to have you here.
yes.
Somebody told me about the book, and only because I always loved Sherlock Holmes, and that was the best. You know, if you like Sherlock Holmes, you've got to read this book.
I
I wanted to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think on Amazon I posted it as the dirty Sherlock Holmes.
The dirty Sherlock Holmes. I wanted to for it in that I wanted it in their brain. I'm like, okay, you got that? Great.
Yep. Yeah. That's
Let's
what
put
But
in
your
a different
whole idea of it, because is known for, as we all know him for. So to write about a character that is known worldwide.
Well, I'm not a fan. Like I like changing things up, and so started off as a horror story, and I was just a serial killer. And then as I cover, well, you're Sherlock, you're a detective. But then I was like, yeah, that's too much of the Dexter way. I want to change it up, but I and monsters be there. And I said, what's well, I said to myself, how can I make this more? Well, let's take Sherlock out of his natural environment. Let's give him cases that have nothing traditional cases, and let's make him world of monsters and cryptids, and in a world where he's like, okay, I accept that this is another that I didn't know of.
and it is kind of out of his element to an extent too while he's in the
Mhm.
book. Like you can kind of tell that he's out of it, but he also knows so much about it, but yet he's still like it's this almost a fear factor of am I going to be able to take care of this issue?
Right.
As you're reading the book, you can kind of feel that fear factor, even though they are a little shorter stories, but the story itself, you can feel that in the writing, like or like
Yeah. Yeah.
Watson
Maybe I
even.
shouldn't pick a fight with a 7 foot tall Bigfoot.
Right. Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. There's so many the cryptids seen and that sort of stuff. And I was like, you know what? I want to throw in I want to have the whole secret society stuff all based on some type of folklore. So the secret organization, which basically means a female owl, that's folklore is essentially an owl with the head of a woman torments people that she thinks are evil. And so a lot of people know about that folklore. Let me just use that name for the secret society.
I have never heard of that. That's really me and interesting.
There's one of essentially a banshee, uh, and the prior banshee having a rendezvous with Sherlock, and of course he has no idea that.
So that is why it was called deemed the Dirty Sherlock. And I'm gonna show these books off right quick because they are so unique.
Thank you.
And so these are actually the giveaway copies. One is one that you sent me, and I'm going to keep one that has a name because I want to have yours on my shelf, of course. And then I bought a second book for they could have book one and book two. And then I have book one and book two, and we each get a signed copy. Um, these were, yes. I will support these type of books because they were fun to read. They were just
I appreciate it.
very interesting, and they kept you entertained, kept you drawn in, and it was like the story never stopped, which made it
Right.
good.
And I'm getting in more to the to a point where you're like, well, I kind of went this far. Let me take it. Like in book three, there's a short scene for a tentacle dominatrix.
Ooh, buddy.
Um, yes, yes. So book event this past weekend, and people went by and they're like, monster smut, and I was like, yeah. About it is that I was surrounded by a lot of people that wrote fantasy, you know, dragons, that sort of thing, which is really I just don't think it's just not my speed to write it. But I was kind of like the only monster smut person. So I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. Of course, I got some people that like, and I'm like, okay, it's not real. It's not like that's in this book like that. Like I never got or anything else. So like, this is complete work. Um,
Have fun
I
with
know that
it. Life is too short.
right, right, and there's so many scenes that I write side, and I hope that the reader gets that humor with some of those
Oh
scenes.
yeah.
Um, when I wrote the first book, somebody she read it and she was like, "Oh, it was good. I'm not into bestiality," and I was like, well, "It's not real."
Right.
So,
I think people
make
forget
believe
monster
character. I mean,
smut.
I've never seen it. So.
Monster smut is not meant to be taken literally, okay, people? It's all work of fiction in the brain.
Right? I'm like, this. I'm saying like it's not
Yep.
real. Uh,
You liked Twilight,
to
didn't
the
you?
books have been. I'm sorry.
I said,
There
just tell them,
yeah.
you liked Twilight, didn't you? Okay, then. You can
Yeah,
read my book.
it, it's interesting because like I I'm trying to say how I can say this without sounding wrong. I don't mind if people really don't like it's
I mean, you
like if you're
can't. It's
getting
yours.
offended, it's because you're taking it lightly enough.
I think a lot of people forget that humor is the fun side of reading. And
Absolutely.
they take it too far to where it no longer becomes humor. But you need that humor. You need that little soft spot before you dive. Even with fantasy, like you could drive fantasy all day long, but books like yours are great in between books to keep your mind fresh. It's something to laugh at in between a dark romance or between and that's how I see a lot of humorous books. So don't think it's just you because I use witchy romance like it's my in between everything, okay? Um,
Yeah, there's
and
nothing wrong with that.
yeah, like historically, rom coms and, humorous books are the type of books you need for a palate cleanser. And not saying that
Yeah,
it's just because it's a smaller book or anything like that, which the first book is not. Um, that second book would be considered a palate cleanser. It helps you out to remove the craziness and add in some humor and then know you have this one author that you could go find their book. And the next time you need a refresher in your brain, you can go read that and laugh your butt off and keep on going.
absolutely. And I tried to include a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
Included some horror parts,
some
some
serious.
some serious.
Yeah,
Obviously the scenes are
right.
but there's also that twist of the humor. It's just kind of like you said, life's too short. Like, have fun with it. And the book in general, I wanted it to give it that like pulp kind of early 70s,
Yes,
which I was hoping to achieve with the covers.
you
And
did.
so, yeah, thank you, thank you. The next one is and the case of the werewolf will have werewolf, um, kind of like in the other books, one thing and Sherlock's focusing
Yeah,
on the other.
yeah.
So this one's
Oh, okay.
Sherlock's going to focus on the werewolves, and Watson's focusing on the Jersey Devil.
In book two, I swear I was thinking in my head, well, Sherlock's just gonna have to go save him. Some Watson was doing, and I remember thinking in my head, Sherlock's gonna have to go save him because he just keep on getting in trouble.
So originally, I didn't follow through with it. You know, sometimes as an author, you get things wild, do it, and then in hindsight, you're like, man, I'm glad I didn't do it. Watson in book one, just like spur of the moment, kill him off, never hear from him again. And I was like, lines going here because kind of like the Sherlock doing his thing, you kind of go back and you see that Watson, like those two different storylines. I figured would
It
be a little
duels
bit more
very well.
entertaining anyway.
Yeah, it duels very
Yeah.
well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I am gonna read you your little insert that I wrote, and just so you have, because we always get approval before we put anything out about an author. We like to have approval.
Mhm.
So I wrote, "What happens when logic meets legend? When deduction." This is why I record this later. When deduction collides with the unexplained, and when even the world's greatest detective is forced to question everything he thought he knew. Welcome back to Faraway Sister Haven, the place where stories get dissected, twisted, and sometimes completely turned on their heads. Today we're stepping deep into the shadows of the unknown with the mind behind Sherlock Holmes' The Cryptid Files. The Case of Bigfoot, and one of sorry, and the one and only N.S. Thorngrave. This is the author who dared to ask, what if Sherlock Holmes, the ultimate symbol of reason, came face to face with something that shouldn't exist? Cryptoids, conspiracies, and unsettling ideas that maybe, just maybe, not everything is meant to be explained. In this episode, we'll dive into the inspiration behind blending classic detective fiction with crypto lore, the challenge of writing a hyper rational character in a irrational world, and why sometimes the truth is more dangerous than the mystery itself. So dim the lights, keep your eyes on the tree line, and get ready, because this isn't just a story, it's a case that was never meant to be solved.
I love it. That is fantastic.
So with us, we always try to get you something going. We like to make sure people see what we see when we read your books. And you know, I'm just gonna be honest. When I went through Mothman, I was like, "Oh, okay, we got a little something going on here." And then I got into Bigfoot, and I was like, "Oh my God!" When he was on the boat, I'm not gonna say what happened, but when he was on the boat, I was cracking
Right.
up. It was so good. And as we said before, um, I'm gonna cut the part where I read that, but
Right.
I like cutting up the videos. But when we I'm waiting for her to come back too. When we
It's okay.
I don't put this quick.
Yeah, it likes to kick us each out one time per podcast. That's it, just one time. The good
So
thing is I can splice it and splice it. You good?
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm just gonna leave it alone for now.
It, trust me, it's everywhere because I look. It's still the best place to record this at because we actually have a moment where um it records itself, so I don't have to.
Nice.
Yeah, and I don't have to
Well,
mess
this
with the
makes a
voice.
long time
Huh?
I said, and the space won't time you out, or at least it shouldn't time you
Right.
out.
And we kind of have the freedom of saying what we want, and I can take it out. If I can't put it on like YouTube or something, I'm able to splice it out.
Right. Right.
Um,
Um, some of the interesting things that I've actually, after the two books, no, the book, Bigfoot came first,
oh, was it Bigfoot?
literally and figuratively. Yes.
Oh,
Bigfoot came first. And then so after book two, I've gotten inquiries about like conspiracies to the book that they've kind of like created. So, you know, in the books is a habitual cannabis user.
yeah.
And so these fan theories of, is it all just in his mind? And I was like, yeah,
That's
and I was like,
interesting.
well, it could be. I didn't mean for it to be.
Let's see where this goes. I love
Right?
I love
Yeah.
that you
Told me that like I wish they did more.
I love that you put it out there as Scooby Doo meets Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
I love that. I think that drew me in even more because those are two things that people should connect with instantly. We all watched it.
Instantly, absolutely.
Uh,
Absolutely. And you know, kind of that I realized after book two. So Sherlock spends almost the entire book solving.
mhm, that's true.
Because the case kind of, you know,
Yeah.
so I don't want to too much.
Yeah.
Um, so, which will change a little bit with this one. The response has been great. When I did the show this past weekend, you know, people, it is monster mystery smut.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, approach, read about it. You know, if you don't, um, you know,
And
we don't need to sugarcoat it since monster smut is the thing.
right. I will say it's not like hugely smut. So like if you are not a huge smut reader, this book is not full of smut. There are portions of it that is smut, but it's not just every page. So that is not something you have to worry about if you are not a big smut reader. So you're
Yeah,
able to read this
I
book.
told people it actually has a plot.
Yeah.
Like there's an actual
Oh
plot of
yeah.
the story. It's not
Yeah.
just pages of, you know,
Right.
filth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is
Because
nice.
a lot of monster smut is just that smut.
Right.
But this has
Right.
a whole storyline and it is not full of it. So that helps readers know that they can connect with the story a little bit, even though it's imaginative. You can still have a little bit connection with it. You also kind of replay your childhood because, you know, when we were growing up, the Sherlock Holmes was a cartoon on Saturday morning. You could watch Sherlock Holmes and Watson, and then Scooby Doo
Yeah.
was on every night. You know.
That's right. That's
And-
right. I loved Scooby Doo.
Yep, and Mama sat you in front of that TV and told you to shut up. So we know you watched
right.
it in the 90s.
right.
That's what you had.
And it's funny because I think back of those early Scooby Doo episodes I'd watch as a kid, and like in my brain I was like, "What's it gonna be now?" And it's always a guy in a mask. It's always as
Oh,
a
it's
child.
really
it never
a
occurred to
ghost?
me.
No, it's
Like,
not.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like I got duped every episode, but I
Yeah.
was okay with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we asked you a bunch of questions, but you kind of already answered them. So we're gonna move. Paula, is there anything you would like to ask? Hey. Oh, you're fine. We're about almost done with this one, but we got two more afterwards. All right. All right. Bye bye. I was one of our other
Good.
sisters. Yeah.
Got it.
So there's four of us, and we not everybody's able to attend the podcast. Me and Paula are stay-at-home moms, so it's a little easier for us to do it. But she was letting me know that she wanted to be part of some of them today, and I was telling her what was left. But I did want to go to the last question because we always go to the last question. Uh, saw that someone sent a message. I think it was Paula. Let's see. She's having a little moment.
Always have a little moment.
There she goes. Paula, did you want to ask anything?
Um, is this the only series you've done so far? Is there more that I didn't hear about?
No, this is the first series, and if I'm being completely honest, I don't know how many books are going to be in the series. It could be 4, it could be 5. I haven't decided yet. It's not the only books I'm coming out with this year. So after book 3, my next book release will be in September, and that one is called Waterbish, and that's a standalone book. It's not part of a series. And I'm going to try to do that more in a graphic novel style.
Well, Zero will love that.
The reason why you write, you know, like you do, are you a big Sherlock fan and a big monster fan? I mean,
I am
what
like,
gave you to write these stories?
so I'm a huge mystery fan. I'm a huge fan of like, I love horror movies. I am fascinated by the occult. Like growing up, I was watching Tales from the Crypt, and that's just like my vibe, right? And so I was like, why can't these stories be sexy? And then as I was writing the first book, I went to a thrift shop because I love going to thrift stores, and I found a sealed for $1. It was sealed DVDs. It was 10 of them, black and white, of Sherlock Holmes, the original movies. And I said, "This is a sign." So I bought it, and I've just always been fascinated by that world. Like, if it is creepy, like I'm super down to see the movie, even if it's a horrible film. Like there's some films that I'll watch and it's like, oh, this snowman comes to life and kills people. And I'm like, oh my God, that sounds horrible. Let's watch it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm all about
Did you
like
see the
those
new
B
Bambi
roll.
one?
What's that?
Did you see the new Bambi one that they
I,
have? I
s-
think it's on Peacock.
I saw the advertisement for it and I'm like, oh my God, that looks like trash. I can't wait to watch it. Like
I've
it's
not watched it yet, but it keeps coming up on my screen. So, but
the
yeah,
same with the Winnie the Pooh ones.
right? Like I just can't bring myself to watch it, but then again, I want to watch it.
Right. It's like horrible, but you know it's going to be horrible. Like you know it's going to be bad in like
Yeah.
probably every sense. But you're like, oh, yeah, this is, I still want to watch it. It's kind of like when you see those old school horror movies and you can still see the string hanging from
Oh,
where
Yeah.
it is, it's like coming down. It's like, oh man, bad. I just it's so entertaining, and I always have found that world just to be alluring. Um I've never had any kind of like Bigfoot encounters or anything like that. I just find it to be fascinating. All that whole cryptid monster world I find to be fascinating. And even, you know, many years ago I was a history teacher. So even the historical basis of how in Romania they used to bury some of their dead because they thought they were vampires, all that stuff like has always fascinated me. And yeah, this series is going to probably go on after this book in June. It'll probably go on another 2 books, I want to say. But in between book 3 and 4, I'm going to release uh probably 1 or 2 other ones. I have one coming out during Christmas time, and it's called A Windigo Christmas, and that's going to be a standalone as well. And that one is going to have some smut, but it's also going to have like the shape shifting kind of deal going on as well.
you do know my email. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I will be looking for ARC readers, just so you know.
You don't even need look, just put me on the list. I got you. As soon as I see the email and I see your name, I'm gonna be like, gold.
I appreciate that so much.
Anytime.
I have fun writing these and I have fun creating the covers. And right now. I don't even know if I can switch my screen to show you. Yes, I can. Right now, I'm working on the cover. I'm not happy with it, so if I show it to you, it's not the one that it's gonna be. But let me see if I could do that.
Oh, that's neat.
That's neat.
That looks
And
good.
so, yeah, I'm not I'm kind of picky when it comes to the covers. I'm not entirely happy with the wolf.
Yeah.
So I'll see how I'll change that up a bit. But I lean into it. I really enjoy it, and I go on TikTok and I tell people, "Oh, I'm on," trying to like build myself up, right? I'm the monster smut king, so just to get reactions out of people, and yeah, I've actually enjoyed the journey quite a bit.
I might have to name this the Monster Smut Queen. King.
I was shocked that, the whole bestiality comment came up because I myself, I love reading the monster smut. I'm a major monster smut uh gal. Don't tell people that. I kind of keep that a secret. But I've never heard anybody say anything about it being bestiality, and now I'm over here thinking, is all the stuff that I've read been illegal?
Well, what I told them was, this would be different if it's like, oh, well, somebody's getting it on with a cat. That's not what's happening here. It's a mythological figure. It would be the same premise as if somebody writes a smut book of someone getting it on with a dragon. I mean, right? So I just told the person, I said, yeah, but Bigfoot's not real. I mean, as far as I know, so he's not real. It's all supposed to be in this mythical type of plane. And I've just never seen it that way. I've read plenty of monster smut books, some good, some bad. I was reading one with Krampus, right? So Krampus has the horns and he's full of hair and he looks like a goat. And no time of me reading that story did I feel that the author was trying to lean towards bestiality. So I just think that it just wasn't the person's vibe, and that's what they went with.
Everything. That's the other thing, you know, they're not in these characters aren't looking at it as they're having sex with this animal or monster, to them in mentality, they're just looking at it as another person that they're falling in love with or they're attracted to.
Right.
Never do they think, oh, hey, I'm about to have sex with this big bear looking thing.
Right. And that's something I kind of, but I feel like I found a good remedy because it's werewolves and female werewolves and male werewolves. There is a scene where a male who can transform to a werewolf, um, he's in his human form but wants to get on with the female werewolf. And so what I did in that scene, because I did not just want it to be one like a human getting on with the wolf, because I don't want people to like in their brain to attribute it to like a dog or a canine type of thing. So what I did was for the book, during that spicy scene, they are changing depending on the motions of the strokes. They're changing back and forth between werewolf and human.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I don't
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna be biased because I don't really see any of it as any kind of like taboo, whatever. Although you're also talking to someone who reads extreme taboo stuff, so like not really the one to judge, but I feel like a lot of that's just personal opinion and you can't allow that to bother you as a writer, nor should any reader have it bother them because that's what they like. If they don't like it, they don't have to read it. It's a book. You can return it. You can,
Yeah.
you know, it's your
Yeah.
work. It's not theirs. Then whatever.
And you also don't have to love it. I read plenty of books that I don't love, and to me,
Yeah.
books are just like movies. You're gonna watch some you like, you watch some you don't like, and that's okay. And if If you don't like it and you leave a bad review, well, that's okay too, as long as you're actually leaving a review and like
Right.
writing white. And like, I think there's nothing wrong with that. I don't like every book I read. I don't like every movie I see. So it's, different strokes for different folks. I mean,
You'll have the right crowd. You just, once you have your right crowd, you have your right crowd, and there you go. You're good. To be fair, you're talking to the person who DNF'd Belladonna when it was all the glory on Book Talk, and I just, that book just, I'm still
Well, you
upset.
see, there's a when my first book came out, I sent it to a professional TikToker in London, and she has a large following, and she was very nice. She emailed me that she'd be very willing to read the book and so on and so forth. Now, it did take her a few months before she read the book, and then she finally reviewed it, and she DNF'd it, and she put that the reasons were I used two terms that she didn't like. One of them was when I was referring, and I only used it once in the book, when I was referring to female anatomy, I used the word flower.
Yeah.
And then there was something else. And then she put, but also I was hangry. So I might go back and read it when I'm not hangry. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, but wait a second. Eat a cheeseburger and then leave the damn review.
Right.
Don't be doing it don't let the
I will speak up for her. As a reviewer, and especially someone who, like me, we get emails every day. Can you read my book? Which is amazing. And sometimes we're asking you, can we read your book? And because of that, we overload ourselves. And then we feel like we have to get these reviews out.
keep up.
And that does tend to, because they don't realize that they overdid it. They gotta, you gotta backtrack a little bit and remind yourself, hey, you're only human. And if you miss the little deadline, that's okay. But
All right. Yeah, no,
and then you also have, unfortunately, you have authors who will send you 10,000 emails and say, why haven't you read my book?
yeah,
Why haven't you done this? Why haven't you
yeah,
done that? So,
right.
it may not have been a you thing. It could have been a her thing, and she just felt overloaded. But she should have just said something, because that's what I
Yeah.
do. I tell you guys all the same. I just say, hey, I'm not going to say I'm going to read it today, but I will read and review your book. You just got to give me time.
And I don't like DNF books, right? If they didn't capture my interest. Funny enough, most of the books that I DNF are traditional published books.
Yep.
I read one, and it was supposed to be, and it sounded really good, and it was supposed to be a compilation of Native American stories. It had the intro by the same author who wrote Buffalo Hunter.
Oh, okay.
But I was like, okay, so let's dive into this. And every chapter was supposed to be a different story of horror, written by a Native American author. And to me, it just every story, and I read through several of them. Every story felt not scary enough.
All right.
I was like, I'm not invested in the book. Every story is something different. None of them have really like captured that. Whoa, let me keep reading it. So I DNF'd it, and I left it a bad review because it didn't capture my interest. So when people leave reviews, I always take them with a grain of salt because what some people like, others don't, and vice versa, and that's okay. I mean, that's the nature of the beast.
Right. So don't take that personally. I personally enjoyed your stories. I thought they were very fun.
Thank you.
They were
Thank you.
very entertaining. And it did take me back to the 90s where, life was a little different. And I got that little taste of just nostalgia with it, which I absolutely loved.
Yeah, and I appreciate that because that was the goal. Like, I wanted to take away you could grab a cell phone whenever you need,
Right.
right? Because that just makes things too easy.
Yeah.
So I wanted to like take that equation, that advanced technology. That hey, if you want to travel from point A to point B, it's gonna take you a minute.
And you need a map.
I love that too.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
need a map.
I appreciate it. I really, with these stories, I've really tried to kind of create a world of allure, a world of gothicness, um, definitely to put in some smut scenes, but I also want to keep the mystery of it alive. And I think that this book, the one that's coming out, The Case of the Werewolf, is going to have some good twists. And I just like things that are unconventional. So, in the Mothman book, as you know, Sherlock's love interest is fence-based,
Hmm.
but she's a badass character.
Right.
She's funny, she's witty,
Yes.
she is. I don't know if you caught that, but her brother's a
Oh no, I
cryptid.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, so he doesn't turn into one in the book, but by the name. So, like, I just like having fun with it, and I like taking it to directions that people are like, oh, I didn't expect that. I do have a scene in this book coming up with a cryptid sex shop.
Hey, I used to work in one, so if you need some advice, I got you. Okay. Oh God. I got you on that too, trust me. Oh, at least I didn't sign an NDA. It's funny. Do I have the story? Oh man, that was a rough, what, 4 or 5 months that I worked there. It That was interesting. That was interesting.
Was it in? Because I
Huh?
guess that's my thing. Was it
Was it what?
entertaining?
Oh yeah, every day. Every day was funny. Every day it was just a question you would never think somebody would ask you, and it was like, how do I say this with a straight face?
You could write a whole book on sex shop.
Could I could, and
You absolutely could.
it was hilarious. I came home with stories every night.
I could only imagine.
I think I text Porcupine a few times of some stories.
Yeah.
That
I'll
was a
have to believe
very
you.
my daughter is out. That was a very interesting couple months. But yeah, no, if you need some stories from a story, I got you. It was.
I might. I might. Teenager? I don't know. I must have been 18. There was this. Well, I grew up in Miami. There was this huge one. And I remember to this day, they had a wall of shame
Mhm.
with Polaroid pictures. But they wrote down what they tried to steal.
Yep.
Because you could just sit there reading, like, oh, take, you know, a wall of
Plug.
shame to me the entire time.
Mhm. Yep. We had the same book. We didn't have the wall. We had the book. We had a book, and it didn't have photos, but it had the name of the person because we had to take a picture of their ID to come in. So we had their ID in the book, and we would put what they tried to steal. And it was always hilarious because all the stuff in there, even the things out of the box, they would have a sticker on them that would go off if you went out the door. So like we knew exactly who you was stealing, you know?
You were stealing, right?
No, yeah.
But,
Well,
I can't thank you enough for reading
absolutely.
that you and the crew phenomenal as an independent much to me. And I'm hoping I can get Porcupine to read some of the books because if she likes them,
She will.
it.
She will.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get with Steph and go through what she got.
I got her.
For doing the sprayed edges, by the way, they came out
Absolutely.
absolutely
Yeah, if you ever want me to just hit me up, no problem. And like I said, just put me on your arc. Reader list, I got you. You know me. I just like you send it to my email, I'm gonna read it. So
Yeah. And I appreciate it.
absolutely.
Has been doing